well. The title of our presentation gets into some of the principles, the relationship development principles that Asentiv teaches. So if you're new with us here today, welcome to a little bit of an introduction of what it is we teach. And if you're seasoned with us today, you've been around Asentiv for quite a few years, I do promise you're going to be getting something out of this conversation. The title of our presentation, as you see on the slide, is Getting to Know You, specifically through the GAINS profile, Everybody give me a G, an A, an INS. Obviously, this is why I played football, because cheerleading was not in my skill set. Again, we're going to be going deep with the GAINS profile today. A lot of things that I teach and share with people, I put in the perspective of peeling an onion. There's layers to an onion. And today, we're going to be getting to the essence of the GAINS profile. Now, the purpose of the GAINS profile is to provide you and your referral partners with a structured approach to getting to know you, having a business and a networking interaction versus purely a social interaction. Specifically, for those of you who are familiar with the VCP model, the visibility, credibility, profitability model, it's my opinion that the GAINS profile helps us move a relationship from invisibility or visibility to early credibility. And with that, we want to talk a little bit more about the why of the GAINS profile. As you're interacting with a referral partner, having a cup of coffee, doing a Zoom meeting, having some breakfast or lunch together possibly, or a cocktail, instead of chatting about how's the weather, or how are the kids, or complaining about how poorly your local football team is doing, how can we transition some of those social interactions to, again, business and networking interactions? The GAINS profile provides us with, again, a structured approach to having a business and a referral generating conversation. Tiffany, you've got some questions, I think.
Yeah, I want to ask y'all a question. So if you want to pull up your chat box. So in your chat box, if you have a GAINS profile, I want you to type have, enter. If you've heard of the GAINS profile, heard, enter. And if this is your first exposure to the GAINS profile, just give us a question mark. And let's see where we're at. So Peter has, Katie has, Grish is like heard, Patrick is like, what? So we've got, so it's kind of, we've got some people that have it, some people that have heard it, and some people are like, oh, I'm very interested. What is this GAINS profile all about? And that's what Tom and I are here to share with you. And as much as we'd love to spend hours talking about this, our goal is, to kind of give you the overview of what this is. Your Asentiv facilitator can definitely give you additional information. And know that for those of you that already have a GAINS profile, maybe it's time to update it. Maybe you'll hear just one thing, and we'll probably ask you about that at the end, one thing that you could add to your BNI, to your profile. And I just saw Dipik, is that how you pronounce that? It said, from BNI. And yes, they do use this quite a bit in BNI, and they use it outside of BNI as well. So to get us started, the G stands for goals. What are your goals? And we think about this idea of, why do we want to know someone's goals? And I think it speaks quite a bit to a person when we know what they're aiming for, what they're looking to achieve, what is driving them. Now, one of the things that I love about the GAINS profile is there's an opportunity to be a cross section of who you are. So is it business goals or is it personal goals? The answer is yes. I think it's important for us to know who you are as a person, as well as who you are in your business, because sometimes we get too down to business too quick, and we want to know that we like this person. So we think about, okay, what are some of our personal goals? What are some of our business goals? And anybody want to share in the chat box, what's a goal that you're working towards this year? whether it be a revenue goal. I know I have a health goal and a revenue goal, a goal on how many books you'd like to read, how many programs you'd like to attend. Ooh, Florin says 100% healthy. That's an interesting one. 100% healthy. What other kind of goals do we have that we're working towards? To not be my child's teacher. Yeah, I can totally get that. Adam, I love your goal. More socks. Yes. It's interesting. So I do have a thing for socks. And for my birthday, I actually had 2 different people get me the same pair of socks.
Wow.
There's Spock socks with ears. I'm a huge nerd. So they were Star Trek socks. And I'm like, 2 people got me the exact same pair of socks. It's what it is. John says create a retreat. Katie says grow my team. And I think that when it comes, especially to our business goals, it's really easy for us to share with our network. Hey, I'm looking to grow my team. Hey, I'm looking to double my business. I'm looking for whatever it is. Though sometimes it's really hard for your network to go out and create action on. So Tom, you like to talk about networking goals. Can you tell? That's not like how many networking events I attend, though. It's a different kind of networking goals, isn't it?
Absolutely. And by the way, happy belated birthday, Tiffany. Last Sunday was your birthday. And glad you received some socks as presents. But yes, in addition to maybe a personal goal or a business goal, I like to list my networking goals, specific networking goals with respect to how my referral partners can help me. You know, currently I'm looking for referrals to business coaches to expand our Asentiv mastermind community specifically for coaches. I'm also looking to for referrals to the heads of business organizations so we can explore a potential strategic alliance with them in terms of how Asentiv can help their members get more out of their organizations. And then, of course, I'm also looking for speaking engagements in those business organizations. Those specific networking goals explicitly state to my referral partner how they can help me expand my network and subsequently grow my business. Now, some of Tiffany's networking goals consist of she wants to book a speaking engagement a week. She would also like to add one more person to her more money, more time, more fun through referrals Facebook group a day. Additionally, she'd like to enroll 2 people a month into Asentiv's Referrals for Life community. And lastly, she would like to enroll 2 people in Asentiv's Pro, Ignite Your Business. Oh, and she also wants to receive 3 testimonials a week. Those specific goals create actionable energy between her and her referral partners to move her business forward. Let's talk about accomplishments. Goals is an acronym. Probably should have said that when we first started out, okay? Everybody I'm sure has written down. G is for goals. A is for accomplishments, okay? Now, why is it important for people to know your accomplishments? In my mind, people knowing your accomplishments speaks to your credibility, to your expertise, and specifically how you help others. Yeah. Do I want to know that you've raised 2 kids, ran a marathon, successfully completed a triathlon? Of course. That speaks to me and tells me about your ability to commit to something, to accomplish something. It tells me about your tenacity. But I also want to know, as part of your accomplishments, your success stories and your testimonials. I want to know how you have helped clients. You want to share these testimonials, these success stories with your networks as part of your GAINS profile, so that they have the ability to promote you with power and passion. If on your GAINS profile, I can understand a few of your success stories of how you've helped clients save time, make money, live a healthier lifestyle, reduce stress in their life. What you're doing is you're actually giving me the language to promote you with power and passion to people in my network. So one of our examples of a success story with a member of our Asentiv community is from Eric Bunch. He's a photographer and a videographer. And he says at the beginning of 2019, he started working with Asentiv. And the good news is his revenue went up by 8% that next year. The better news, because Eric just has this fantastic family, these great, great kids, is that he was able to increase his business revenue by 8% and reduce his work week by 25%. Amazing business, spectacular life. That's what we're all about. And at this point in the presentation, I think it's time for, is it time for a smile break?
In just a second, I'm gonna go, is it okay, y'all, if I go on a Tiffanie tangent? So a Tiffanie tangent, for those of you that don't know me, is this isn't part of the presentation. I'm going off script. But I think in listening to this conversation, it's really powerful and impactful. When our goal is to grow our business by referrals, our number one objective is to have others speaking positively on our behalf, sharing testimonials. And I think that people don't give enough credit, put enough effort into getting those. One of my networking goals is to get 3 testimonials because, as Tom mentioned, they're the ammunition or they're the social proof. And so whether you're sharing a 30-second or a 60-second commercial, if you're at a speed networking event and you have a couple minutes to talk about your business, too often people are focused on the features of their business. Whereas really, I think it's about the benefits. And so if you can share the benefits that your business offer inside a testimonial, I think that's muy importante. That's Spanish for any of you Spanish speaking people here. Very important. How do you say very important in your language or your native tongue? If you want to put that in the chat box, because I am not even going to try and say it in other languages because I'd probably butcher it. But I think it's really important for us to think about, okay, what are the benefits that I offer within my business? And finding those testimonials to share that focus on that. And Tom, I know, success stories and testimonials are really high on your list of priorities as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I'm still excited about our little smile break here.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So there's lots of things in this that are in the chat box that, I'm not going to attempt to say, but I'm going to work on that to be able to say very important in multiple languages for next year's conference. So what I did want to do, this is my reminder that it's time for us to take a little photo because we do have a diverse group from across the globe here. And so I thought it's time for us to take our photo. And luckily, Don and Jamie are making sure that we're all on camera. So what we're going to do is smile. Now I'm going to have to take a couple of these pictures because there's multiple screens of us, but we want to smile really big. Or if you like using filters or do something fun, give us some reaction. You're welcome to do that as well. Please don't look bored. Don't make me find a smiley face to put over your face from the photo. So smile. All right, keep smiling. I got to go to the next screen. Smile. Keep smiling. Oh, I like Lynn, your beret. Very cute. Go to the next screen. Smile. Oh, yay. Manisha's got her little thing going on. Smile. As I'm getting further back in my page, y'all seem to be smiling less. All right, awesome, everybody. I got you. Now we have the photo. I'm going to be posting some links after today. The QR codes are up, so if you want to use your phone to grab those now. Otherwise, I'll post that after our next Connect. So if you want to go grab the picture of you with us in the presentation, we'd love to have you. And that leads me to interest. So I am big about pictures and using social media. That's one of my interests, but the I stands for interest. And I like to think there's 4 different reasons that I like to know somebody's interest, not limited to 4, but 4 that really kind of resonate to me. The first reason I like to know your interest is there opportunity for us to build rapport? Does it help? Is it a connection? And sometimes you hear interest, like I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. I have my nerdy socks or all my socks. I have a little Maltese. And so sometimes that can connect. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's good to know. The second reason I like to know people's interest is, does it give me an opportunity to connect them with a referral source? Sometimes it could be that, let's say the realtor and the mortgage broker. The mortgage broker may want to meet more realtors, but the realtor might be like, I know enough mortgage brokers. If I happen to know that they're both fans of insert your, local sports team here, and hey, let's get them together at a game or watching a game, or if you can get together, some of us can. Florida's pretty open. I know some of your countries are pretty shut down. Or even if it's just that you both enjoy the same book, it gives you an opportunity to connect them with it being in addition to the business. The third reason that I love knowing what people's interests are is if I want to send a card or a gift, if I can use that theme, it makes it really impactful. Because like I said, I got some socks for my birthday. Those stand out much more than just the generic gifts that you might get, the gift cards or the baskets. The fourth reason that I like knowing what your interests are has to do with the networking scorecard. And those of you that are involved with Asentiv, you may have seen the networking scorecard before. You might be like, oh my, hers is pink. The networking scorecard is a tool that helps us measure how well we motivate our network. And I like to keep mine on my desk, easy to find. So I actually use cardstock, bright colors, so that I can see my scorecard. And one of the activities, again, we're measuring how well we motivate our network. And so one of the activities is sending articles of interest to them. And so if I happen to know what their interests are, it gives me the opportunity to send them something that means more to them. And it could be a video, it could be email, it could be text, it could be on social media. Here's the interest. And what I'd love to do is, because to me, the interest is one of the fun parts of the gains. What are some of your interests? Put into the chat box. I mentioned a couple of my interests already. Tom, what are you interested in?
Well, I love doing some woodworking. I love hiking and being in nature. I enjoy fishing and boating. And I just love business. I love teaching. I love learning. Just keep myself busy and stimulated with all kinds of varied and sundry activities.
All right.
And you want me to move on, or do you want to read through some of the chat?
First I want to go. So Adam likes flying old biplanes. Klaus, I am right there with you. Let's try some whiskey. Maria loves some Zumba dancing. We've got musical theater from Claire. Rugby from Michael. Ooh, we've got some other people in here that like rugby. Brian likes some gin. Sonia, embroidery. Somebody's unmuted themselves and I'm reverbing. Jack says golf. Dr. Jolly said playing word games and gardening. All right, so we've got some really great things in the chat box. And as you're looking through the chat box, maybe afterwards you save the chat box, you might think, who could I connect with that has a similar interest to me? All right, Tom, you got a story to tell us about this ideal of interest, right?
Yeah, what would it be like if you could create a business, a relationship forum around the interests in your life? I remember a realtor I knew years ago. This gentleman, he loved wine tasting and he loved playing poker. Do you know where he got all his referrals from, Tiffanie? From the group of people that he would go out wine tasting with and the group of people that he would play poker with. Oh my goodness. What a lifestyle that feeds a business for him. Absolutely amazing.
And I think about
Phil. Time to talk about.
Phil's really good at that with using his salsa for part of his network. I mean, his interest in network. Speaking of networks, right? That's nice. Our next N stands for networks. And so in this networks, we're going to talk about what kind of people do you surround yourself with? And I think this is probably in the GAINS profile, people are like, what are you part of networks next? And to me, it really gives us an idea of who are the other people that you know? Who are the people that are in your world behind you, beyond you? And so it gives me an opportunity to see what kind of groups are you a part of? What type of people do you hang out with? Now, in Asentiv Pro, we actually talk about the fact that there are 7 different types of organizations that you can be a part of. And some of those are business related, like the Chamber of Commerce, like BNI. Some of those are giving back. You've got your community service clubs. You have your professional associations built around your profession. You have some of the social groups that you can be a part of that can help you increase those referrals. We also have the online world, especially these last 10 months or so where we are living in an online world. And I'm not going to get into do you love it or do you hate it? Because here's the thing, it is what it is. I mean, that's where we're at. There's not much we can do about it. But one of the things I love is it gives us an opportunity to now to connect with people all over the world in a way that we haven't before. I know in my Asentiv Connect group, so I'm from the United States, we had Germany, we had the UK, and we had 2 gentlemen from Japan. So it's a very diverse audience. So we do get the opportunity now to be out there networking and connecting with people. And I think it's powerful to share what kind of groups are you in. So if you want to put in the chat box, what kind of groups are you in? And again, it's not limited to just your business groups. These can definitely be personal. These can be social. Lawn tennis, ethnic groups. Anthony Williams putting into the chat. I like to use the chat box a lot. Sorry, y'all. WhatsApp group. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's tons and tons of WhatsApp group. I've actually just started 2 book clubs, one this week, one next week, and we're really using those WhatsApp groups to have the conversation. Oh, Miley's in the National Speakers Association. So am I. Awesome. We got the Mummies group, running groups, watching football game. Love it. Odd Fellows, that sounds odd. I might have to learn what that's all about. But so we have our networks, and it's really awesome to see what people are doing. Ooh, a meditation group. That sounds interesting. I need to meditate more. All right, so that's networks. Now we have our very last part of the GAINS profile. Tom, turning it over to you. Tell me about some skills.
Skills. Okay, here we go. Why do we want to share our skills with one another in developing a relationship? I don't know. What are you good at? Personally, professionally? I love to ask the question when I'm in a one-to-one, hey, what did you do before you were a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker? Because that gives me insights to a person's skill set from their past life. Now, in Asentiv Pro, we talk about there's 3 different types of networks that we have. IRS. We have an information network, a referral network, and a support network. And understanding people's skills that you're in relationship with can help expand and help you become more aware of the fact that these people can fit into your support and information network as well as your referral network. I remember I had a great relationship for many years with a business coach. However, before he was a business coach, he was an attorney. And I can't tell you how many contracts and agreements and documents this gentleman as a business coach looked at for me with his attorney hat on. And it was only because in developing a relationship and doing the GAINS profile that I understood that part of his skill set was understanding the legal system, legal documents, so on and so forth. So understand or take the time to understand the skills of others in your network. Now, we've talked about all of the aspects of the GAINS profile: goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. But when it comes to actually having a conversation with a referral partner going through the GAINS profile, is there a strategy to make it a little more conversational? For those of you who are familiar with roomful referrals and the behavioral styles, we probably don't want to have our go-getter hat on during the GAINS profile, where if I was sitting with Tiffanie, I might say, okay, Tiffanie, good to see you. What are your goals? Okay, come on. Let's go. What are your accomplishments, your interests, your networks, your skills? Let's go. We only have an hour here. Probably not the best approach to building a relationship with someone. So I think there could be a little bit of suaveness around going through the GAINS profile with people. For instance, when I sit down with someone, I might ask them, hey, what did you do last weekend? Oh, well, we went to the kids' football games. We had a barbecue. And just in asking that question, I'm beginning to understand some of their interests. They have children, and their children are involved in sports, and they enjoy time with family around the house. And then I might jump to, hey, before we continue, I'm just wondering, what did you do before you were a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker? So then I'm getting from a person's interests now into their skills. And then from there, I might want to share with them, hey, I really want to learn how to help you and support you. Talk to me about your goals. Talk to me about your goals. How can I be out there supporting you? And then I might transition to, so from there, how do you help your clients? What are some of your accomplishments? What are some of your clients' testimonials that they provided to you? And then I'm getting an understanding, obviously, of their accomplishments. And then I would finish up with, I'm also excited to learn about how possibly you can help me. Who are some people that you can introduce me to? Okay, what are some of your networks that could support me in my business? All right, and then from there, we've covered, all of the aspects of the GAINS profile in a more conversational manner. Now, of course, you do have the option of sending your GAINS profile to someone before a one-to-one. And I think that's a great way to get a jump start on the relationship development process and bringing your initial conversation with a referral partner to a new level by, again, sharing your GAINS profile with your partner before you all get together. So Tiffanie, let's take a look at a good GAINS profile.
So I put on the screen my GAINS profile, though I know we have people from around, and there's the QR code. So if you want to scan it and download it, you can get that. I know we have people here from around the globe. So reach out to your Asentiv person, franchise owner, facilitator, trainer, coach. I promise you they have an amazing GAINS profile that you can look at. I like pictures. That's kind of my promoter-ish way that I like to be. So I like having kind of the fun. And again, the goal is a cross section of who you know. Mine did not look like this when I first got started, but I've been involved with Asentiv for 15 years. So I've had a little bit of time to perfect it. And if you create a GAINS profile or you update your GAINS profile, I would love to see that from you. Again, though, reach out to your Asentiv facilitator there in the area. They will share theirs with you. Now, I think, Dawn, I've got about Jenny, I've got about 3 minutes left to wrap up here, just making sure I'm on. Okay. So I did want to mention, Tom mentioned a little bit about don't get too down to business too quick, don't be too focused, but do realize the Roomful of Referrals program offered by Asentiv talks about the fact that there's 4 different behavioral styles. And what you'll find is each person is different. So where I might want to start with the goals and the accomplishments, Phil might want to start with the interest. Some people want to start with the skills. You have the opportunity to look at different sections. Tom's like, let's have this conversation. So just realize we have 4 different styles, and the golden rule is out the window. Don't treat people the way that you want to be treated. You want to treat people the way that they want to be treated. And that's like a 2.5 to 4 hour workshop. So I can't in a minute give you everything there is, but do keep in mind, treat other people the way that they want to be treated. Tom.
Nice. So what do we want to do as a result of this conversation that we have initially with a referral partner? We want to turn knowledge into action. We want to turn knowledge into action. Remember, the GAINS profile is a way to get to know one another. But at the same time, I want to walk out with 3 to 5 action items that I can take on behalf of my budding relationship with a new referral partner to help support them. And I want them to walk out with 3 to 5 actions that they can be doing to support me and my business. For instance, possibly I can introduce you to a potential referral source if our meeting went well. Potentially I can tell you about a book that I've recently read that I felt would really help you in your business. Or maybe if I've experienced your product and service in the past, and that's what has inspired our initial one-to-one, I can offer you a testimonial. So My point is, just don't execute the GAINS profile for the purpose of executing the GAINS profile. The goal, the intention is to move the relationship forward. Turn your newfound knowledge with your referral partner into action. Action. Action creates results. Very good. Tiffanie, you want to put a little bow on this conversation for us?
So what I would love to hear from y'all in the chat box, are you going to create a GAINS profile? Are you going to use GAINS in your next referral partner meeting or one-to-one? If you already have a GAINS, what are you going to update? What are you going to add? What's going to be the difference? I remember the very first time I had done a bunch of one-to-ones with people, and I sat down with a gentleman by the name of Sam. This is 2005, the impact that it had. And I'm like, this meeting was the most focused. We came out with a plan. I learned the most about you. What was different? And it was the GAINS profile that made a difference. That 15, almost 16 years later, he still stands out in my mind because of the impact of that meeting. And so hopefully for you all, you can create more meaningful, more purposeful meetings where you get to know the person, you get to like the person, and hopefully you're able to create action for each other because you trust the people. Tom and I would like to say thank you so very much for the opportunity to share the GAINS profile with you. The end.
Thank you to Tom and Tiffanie. That was awesome. That deep dive there on the GAINS. I think whether right at the beginning when you put your answer in the chat for Tiffanie, whether you had heard of it or you had one or you didn't have one, whichever category you sat in, you would have got something from that presentation. So thank you both